All right, guys, this is chapter 10, cost of capital. We've got 2 chapters left. What we do here, we'll build on that in the last chapter when we value projects. So you definitely need to get this down. Everything we're going to do in this section, you've done the pieces of it already. We're going to learn how to combine it and put it all together. So it's just one big problem we're solving for, weighted average cost of capital. And the formula is really long, kind of nasty, but we'll break it down, and you've solved all these pieces individually. So take your time, and you should be okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. I'll kind of jot down some notes as well as the formula, and then we'll work through the problem posted on Moodle together. Okay, so weighted average cost of capital is what we're trying to figure out. Zoom out a little bit, think big picture. The firm has a new project they want to do. Let's say Amazon is looking into brick and mortar stores. They estimate the revenue and figure out that this project is good. That's what we'll do in the next chapter, is the analysis behind should they do this project. But one part of that is, what does it cost them? How do they pay for it if they want to build 3,000 brick and mortar stores across the US? So to figure that out, we have to figure out what their cost of money is, their cost of capital to pay for these projects. So far we've looked at stocks and bonds more from a investor perspective, from their side. What return are they getting on these? But debt and equity from the company's perspective, the returns to investors is the cost to the firm. Okay, so we've already solved that, both for bonds and stock, and we've got a few tools to do that. But think of it from the opposite side now. Instead of investors looking at what return are they going to get, think of it from the company's side of, all right, whatever returns investors are getting, that's how much we're going to have to pay as a company. Okay, so we'll value both of those, stocks and bonds. So if we value debt, that's our bond valuation. So remember, you had your time value of money keys in, present value, future value, etc. The piece that we're interested in to figure out what return is for the investor, and the reverse, what the cost is for the firm, is going to be your yield to maturity, which remember was I/Y in the calculator. All right, so that's how we'll do debt. Pretty straightforward. There's only one way to do it. Equity, we've got a few options. The first method we used was the dividend model. Where you had a constant growing dividend at some given growth rate. So if we rearrange this model, instead of solving for the stock price and solve for R, that required return, that's what we're talking about here. That's going to be their cost for the firm. So you can do it that way. The second option is the one we just learned, using the CAPM. And we're solving for R there as well. Okay, so either of those, depending on what data and what information you're given. In reality, you could probably do both. So if you're given enough data to do both of them, do both, and then figure out which one you wanted to use from there. We'll keep it simple for this class, and you'll only have enough information to do one or the other. All right. The other form of equity that could come into play is preferred stock. So again, you can use the dividend discount model. There is no growth rate here. So really, you're just dividing your dividend divided by stock price. And that's going to give you R, required return. Okay. All right, so that's part of our cost of capital. That's the actual cost side. But we also need to know the weighted average cost of capital. So we're going to adjust the weightings for each of these. So we need the weight of debt, the weight of equity, and the weight of preferred stock. To find that, we'll also need to know how much, what's the value of the firm overall. Okay, so we'll find a total dollar amount of the firm. We'll also find the dollar amount of each of these: debt, equity, and preferred stock. All right, so once we have the dollar amount of the firm and the dollar amount of each of these, then we can figure out our weights. So debt, equity, and preferred stock in dollars all added up together, that gives you the value of the whole firm. And then just divide each to get the weights. So the weight of debt is going to equal dollars of debt divided by value of firm. Same with equity. The weight of equity is your dollar amount in equity divided by value of firm, and same thing for preferred stock. Okay. So now we've got the cost up here, cost to the firm for each of these: debt, equity, and preferred stock. And then we will have the weight of each of these: weight of debt, weight of equity, and weight of preferred stock. The only other thing we'll have to do is adjust for taxes. And this, we only do this for debt, because the interest on debt is tax deductible. So for a firm, there's some benefits to using debt, tax benefits, that is. So we'll include that in to figure out our weighted average. All right, let me clean this up a little. All right, so preferred stock, that's okay. All right, this will be this cost of preferred stock should be kind of in line with these: cost of debt, cost of equity. All right, so now the overall formula: your weighted average cost of capital. This is the long one, but we're just going to combine each of these things. So you have the weight of equity times cost of equity. Add to that the weight of preferred stock times cost of preferred, and add to that the weight of debt times cost of debt, and also adjust this one for taxes, times 1 minus tax rate. Okay, so all of these pieces, this weight of equity, cost of equity, weight of preferred, every single piece here, once it's in this formula, should be a percentage. So you have to plug it in as a decimal. Okay, once you solve this at the end, it's going to equal a percentage or a decimal. Okay, so we're figuring out overall what is the firm's cost of capital, their cost of money as a percent. What rate are they paying? Taking all of this into consideration, what do they pay? Okay, so let's try this with a problem, put some numbers to it instead of just formulas and information, and see if we can get it. All right, so this is the problem posted on Moodle. We're figuring out weighted average cost of capital for Apple. So you're given all this information, and it's easiest if you break this up into a few sections like this. It's really 4 different pieces before you can figure out our WACC. Okay, so first, what's the cost of equity capital? So that's asking, what's our cost of equity? Okay, we've got 2 ways to do this, the dividend model or the CAPM. So let's see what information we're given. All right, so this piece right here is all about our stock, our equity in the firm. We've got beta, market rate, T-bills, so we know that's going to be CAPM. Okay, so using CAPM, we've got risk-free plus beta times market return, return on the market minus risk-free return. Okay, so if you plug all this in, I got 15.02%. All right, so make sure you plug these in correctly. Risk-free rate, market rate, risk-free rate, those are all percentages. Beta is not, it's just 1.04. Okay, so try that on your own. Make sure you're getting the same thing. Or if I made a mistake, let me know. Okay, so that's the firm's cost of equity. What's the firm's cost of debt? Okay, so we're given this information about debt. Apple has 7,500 bonds outstanding. They pay 6.8% coupon, 11 years to maturity, current price of $9.79, and they pay interest semi-annually. Okay, so plug in all your pieces. N would be, it's 11 years, but semi-annual. So N is 22. Current price, $9.79. Future value, it's 1,000. And coupon, 6.8%. Times our future value is going to give us 68, but semi-annual, so divide by 2, 34. All right, so now we've got to solve for I/Y. So once you solve for that, I got 3.590. But again, remember, this is semi-annual. We need this in annual terms. So multiply by 2, and you should get 7.078%. Okay, so we've got our cost of equity here. We've got our cost of debt here. What about cost of preferred stock? Okay, cost of preferred, this one's pretty straightforward. Just take your preferred stock dividend. Preferred stock selling at 88 a share pays an $8 dividend. So just take your dividend divided by price. And I got 9.09%. Okay. So we have 3 of the 6 pieces we need to solve WACC. If you look back at our other formula, where'd it go? Okay, solving for our weighted average cost of capital, we need all of this. All right. So we're still missing our weights for each piece. Okay, so let's work on that part and then we'll put it all together. So the weight of equity, weight of preferred stock, and weight of debt. We need the value of the firm also before we can even do that. So we're given 284,000 shares of common stock, selling at $68 a share. That's going to equal 19,312. That's what I got. Okay, so we're trying to find our weight of each piece, weight of equity, weight of debt, weight of preferred. We need the dollar amount in each, add them all up, and divide to get the weights. So this is going to be equity. Debt, let's see, we've got 7,500 bonds outstanding. Current price of $9.79. So what that's saying is there's 7,500 of these individual bonds that are out in the market that the company owes coupons on plus the face value on later. And right now they're worth $979 each. So how much is that currently total in dollars? All right, so I got 7,342,500. Check my math on all these. Weight of preferred stock. Okay, we're given 9,000 shares, selling at 88 a share. $792,000. Okay, so now add all of these up. The total value of the firm the sum of each of these $27,446,500. Okay, now to find the weight of each one, just divide each piece by the total. All right, then our weight of equity, these are all going to be percentages now. 0.7036, 0.0289, and 0.2675. Okay, so all of those are as a percentage. You can keep them in that format. All right, so now we have all the pieces we need. Each of these percentages, our weight of each one, weight of equity, weight of debt, weight of preferred, cost of equity, cost of debt, cost of preferred. So we should be able to plug it into the formula. So let's try it. All right. Weight of equity, 0.7036. Times cost of equity, 0.1502. Put that in as a decimal. Plus weight of preferred stock, 0.02. Sorry, I mixed these up on the answers. 0.268. 0.75. That's your weight of debt. Your weight of preferred is 0.0289. My mistake. Okay, so our weight of preferred stock, 0.0289 times our cost of preferred stock, 0.0909. Almost there. Weight of debt, 0.2675 times cost of debt, 0.0778. And don't forget to adjust for taxes here. Okay, we're given that the firm's tax rate is 34%. So plug that in, 1 minus 0.34. All right, so there's your long, messy formula. You could put it in any order. Just make sure you match up the weight of equity times cost of equity. That you don't have to put that first, obviously, but match each one up correctly. Weight of preferred times cost of preferred, weight of debt times cost of debt. And debt is the only one that we adjust for taxes because it is tax deductible. Okay, so when you plug all that in and solve, you should get 0.1272, which is 12.72%. So that is your final answer. That's Apple's weighted average cost of capital. Okay, work through this one. Make sure you get the same thing. If I made a mistake, let me know, but I think that's right. Make sure you do each part slowly. Take your time. It's easy to mess up. Even once you get down here, you've done all the hard part. Just take your time plugging everything in correctly to solve. Okay, good luck with this one. I'll post a few more practice problems on Moodle with this. You will only have one problem like this on your test. And this is all of chapter 10. That's it. It's a big, long problem. It takes some time. Hopefully, if you did well on test 2, at least with the dividend model and your cost of debt or the return on debt, that'll help you with this section. All right, guys, good luck. And we will, I'll do another video next week on capital budgeting, which is our projects. Let me know if you need anything, if I can help in any way, please reach out. Hope y'all are doing well. Hang in there. Home stretch. We're getting close.